for your investment.
Hey,
Hi, Norma.
are you there? There you are. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
I was watching Eddie's Zoom video, not the one from yesterday, because I didn't get the chance to play that again. But I watched the one sent the recorded one on executors.
Yes.
Pretty interesting stuff.
Hey, I'm going to turn my video off for a minute because my internet is spotty. So not to not let you see me now, but it'll help me to be able to be more. It's breaking up on me. Okay.
Okay.
And also, I have this automatically recording. Do you want it recorded so that then that way, if we say something magical, you can have it, or do you want me to turn the recording off?
No, yeah, why not? You can record it.
I was just thinking
I can watch it over.
Well, I was just thinking we might brainstorm something here that helps you, and so that's why I was thinking that might be beneficial. I have it this way when I'm doing my mentor sessions with people, because sometimes we're just inspired, and God gives us language that's I can't remember what I said.
Okay.
So using Maximizer, because Maximizer is where I go to for consulting and helping people. Because I mean, do you find that you can just see where people need to go and what they need to do and how they need to act? Do you see that really fast?
No.
Okay. Tell me about what you have learned about your strengths, because you have Maximizer as number one, but your Maximizer goes to getting things done. My Maximizer, and the reason I know that, so the way that Eddie's taught me to look at things is this. So he's taught me to look at, like, what are my top 1, 2, or 3 strengths? Okay.
Right.
Get to know those very well, because once you know those, it's like knowing how to drive your car. You know how to get the best performance out of you. Okay. So we need you to understand you at those top 3 strengths, I would say.
Okay.
Secondarily, we want to look at the top 10. And what we're looking at is what I looked at last night, is your color. And the color is the domain. And so what you do is you have a majority of purple, which is executing. You want to get things done. And so it's not good enough to talk about it or think about it. It's like, let's go get it done. Let's do this, and I've heard that in your language. I mean, that's who you are. You're like, as soon as you decide, you're off and you're ready to go do it. And that's beautiful. So we want to honor that executing domain. Okay. And then what we want to look at is, because we have to do doTERRA with people, like, doTERRA doesn't work if we do it by ourselves, and doTERRA doesn't work if we can't be kept up with, and doTERRA doesn't work if we're telling people to do things rather than involving them to do things. So that's where I want to make sure we come back around to use some maximizing strength, because you'll be able to inspire them to want to do stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we want to get you to. That doesn't have anything to do with who they are. It has everything to do with you setting yourself free and letting yourself take off like a rocket, which is why I used that little emoji last night. So I want you to kind of catch that picture, because that's where we will know we're successful, when you are effortlessly getting people fired up from their inside, which is not motivating. Motivating comes from outside. Motivating is pushing, telling, reminding, micromanaging. We don't want to be motivating. We want to be inspiring. We want you to have that, that light switch click on with people like it did for you, and that you don't have to be told to do things. You know what you want to do. You know how you want to behave. You know who you are in the planet, and you know what you're up to as far as helping humanity and leaving a legacy. We want that inspiration to be that internal flame, and we want them to be overflowing all these great things that they have onto others, and doing it in their own way, whether they're, the same as you or different. It doesn't really even matter. So that's how we're going to know that we're successful, is that you're having this magic happening that you are, steering and cheerleading and inspiring and encouraging, but you're not having to worry about like mothering and changing diapers and worrying if they've got their bottle filled up or not, because that's just going to suck. Okay. It's going to take all your energy away from you. Okay.
Right.
So the top 3 strengths, I want you to read as much as you can about those in the Gallup Strengths Finder. There's that 25-page report on you that they give you where that summary was. And then doTERRA has some videos they've done inside of the Empower You section on how to do doTERRA specifically based on your strengths as well. So there's a lot of material out there that way.
So it's empower, yeah, because I was trying, I remember those videos, and I went into this site last night to try to get to those again, and I couldn't find them. So where are they? In Empowered You?
It should be under doTERRA, and then you pull down under advocates, and then you look at training, and then under Empower You, and then under Empower You, somewhere in that text is some extra materials on like a strengths book or a strengths builder guide or something like that. There's some other information. So continuing to come from Empowered You, and then looking in the text, there's probably a couple sentences that might bridge off into other links.
Well, yeah, but see, I'm in Empowered You, and I see, it tells
you to take the assessment, and then it tells you that there's a strengths builders guide or something like that.
Yeah.
So click on that guide.
But the strengths builders guide is just a pamphlet.
Okay. But is there any more text on there that's linkable? Because I've seen some videos somewhere, and I can't remember exactly where.
Me too. I remember there was a video per strength.
Yes.
That was on doTERRA.
I'll have to look for it, and I'll see if it's out there. They may have pulled it down or something. I know that guide is helpful.
Oh, here it is.
There you go. You got it. I thought it was somewhere off of this branch. It's not easy to find.
Yeah, it says video disabled by your privacy settings.
There you
changed the settings.
Mine did the same thing, and I don't know what they're doing. It's something that's automatically coming up that way, and then you have to click on it to make it viewable.
Okay.
So that'll give you some further depth, and the ones that, like I said, I want you to really be looking at are your top 3, because those are in your top 5. And those are going to be the ones that I just want you to become more familiar with how you are naturally.
Right.
Where you get energy that is unlimited, where you can do things that's effortless for you. Okay. And so the domain of executing is an interesting one that I want to come back and talk about. But what I wanted you to look at was your secondary domain is influencing, because you had the yellow in there, right? So if I remember
correctly, I have 3. I have 4 in
5 purple.
3.
Yeah, 5 purple.
I have 4 purples and
was it 4? Okay.
Yeah, 4 purples and 3 yellows.
3 yellows, and then what's next?
And then I have 2 blues and 1 red.
2 blues and 1 red. And the blues, the reason I wanted you to rewatch yesterday's video to hear the part about relator was your blues were relator, and then remind me of the other one.
Harmony.
Okay, now, so what I want to talk about here for just a second is what I saw. Now, this doesn't mean anything, Regina. It's just what I saw that I want to draw your attention to. And I want to back it up with this. Maximizer is a very powerful strength. And what I found was, before I knew this language, I had a leader who's a very good friend of mine tell me that she felt like I always disappointed her, or that she always disappointed me. She felt like she was always a disappointment to me, no matter what she did or didn't do. And I want you to hear that from where she was coming from, because where she was coming from had nothing to do with me.
Okay.
It had everything to do with her, but it had everything to do with the backside of Maximizer. So for instance, if I'm always talking about how you can improve, what do you naturally assume that I'm not okay with? Like where you're at right now. Right?
Yeah. Well, I'm.
Do you see what I mean? So just understand that what I've discovered about Maximizer for me may not be true for you,
Right.
but I've discovered that if I don't say something about this, and she's been my friend since early, like around 2010. So we've known each other almost 10 years. And she's
Right.
telling me that she's doing something in her head and comparing me, and she's doing something in her head and heart about what I say or don't say. And she's thinking that she's a disappointment to me, and that she just feels like she's constantly failing.
She's probably, well, that I get, because she's probably trying to be like you instead of doing her own thing, no?
Yeah, it is true. And she's empathy. Her strength is empathy. And she's an introvert. And so she's an introvert, not an extrovert, and her strength is empathy, not maximizer. And so what we found when we got this language was, because when she told me this, I felt like she'd stab me in the guts, because I'm like, you cannot be a disappointment to me. That's like so far what I don't want to create. And I felt really helpless. And I sat with it for 24 hours, and I came back to her and I said to her, I said, you just have to know that you can never be a disappointment to me. And that's all that I can say on my side. So you have to work on this on your side, because I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of you being a disappointment. I'm not creating that. It's exactly the opposite of who I want to be. And so I had to come back to not owning it for her. And so, which was good. It made us go through a lot. And then we got this language, we got strengths on it. And so then I started to realize, and I went, holy cow, I'm always thinking about how people can perform and go to a higher level. And I've got strategic right there second. And so what happens is I can immediately see potential in someone, and then I can go straight back to like 1,000 or 10,000 different ways they could do it, because strategic just continues to find pathways on how to do something. And it's done so quickly, and I don't mean it to do that, but it's like I can't help but see how I can help them if they want to move forward. But the key is if they want to move forward, right?
Right.
She wasn't wanting to move forward, and what was happening is she was saying language because she wanted my approval, but her behavior wasn't following suit with that. And so when she was incongruent, then she had to be feeling like she was disappointing me. And so we went around this to understand this fully. So here's the reason why I went down that deep rabbit hole, is I want you to look at things, because I want you to see in relationships, now let's take one look real quick. Look at your bottom 5 and read those off from 29 to 34 real quick.
Do you want to hear them?
Yeah, read those off to me.
Okay, deliberative, connectedness, analytical, restorative, ideation.
Okay. So restorative is fixing things that are in the past. And was context in there? Because I think my phone.
Right. Yeah, that's what I catch up from yesterday. Context.
Okay. Yes. This is
context
dangerous.
is the
Yeah.
32 and restorative 33.
And what this means for you is that it's not going to do you any good to go back to the other people that you have right now and try to fix or fill holes. So you're not trying to get a complete filling up of everybody. You're not trying to go back and get everybody that you've touched so far back on the same page. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly my problem right now.
That's where you've been trying to work, because that's all we've known, Regina. That's all we've known is go back to those people. Even in the 5555, it actually
exactly
go there.
Like Eddie said, go and look for people that have LRP and talk to them about the business. I've done that.
Yes.
I've done that, and people that don't even have an account anymore, that love doTERRA, and they've decided to call me instead of ordering for themselves. So yes. I have like this accounts like under my brother's name, under my mom's name, which I in monthly for people that call me and you know, say, oh, please, I need a lavender and I need it and blah, 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 blah. Every month I get a lot of people like that.
Right. So where is deliberative for you? What number is deliberative?
29.
Yeah. So So deliberative, when you look at it, is like kind of nurturing people along, like going at this sort of slower pace. So all of these things that you're doing are actually driving you mad. Driving you mad.
Well, because at first I said, listen, this is not, let me go and teach you how to order. And they never did give me the time to explain. And they asked somebody else that sells doTERRA for the things they needed. So at the end, I started to see this and I said, I'm gonna lose this customer or this, to buy her this oil just because she's not into doing her own orders and she's buying from somebody. I prefer for her to buy from me than to buy from somebody else.
I get it. So here's the thing I want you to see.
Mm-hmm.
If you found someone who was a blue, they would be fine doing this activity for you.
Okay.
So here's the thing I want you to think about is imagine how many of these accounts there are. And, you know, you have to also look at it that I would say that, you know, sort of backing up to put a good foundation. If I own a grocery store and I give away all my groceries for how much I buy them for, I can't stay in business.
Right.
So you have to understand that at some point we get out of the hobby and we actually own that this is a business. And we're like Eddie's business. I think he sells $9 million a month. And I think Rod's business sells about $4 to $5 million a month. And Andy and Natalie Goddard in November, they sold $55 million that month.
Wow.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to really give yourself a raise into the title of CEO of your business. And your business is Regina. Mm-hmm. Your business is you incorporated. Like everything that you are, I want you to really look at how do you package you and how do you allow people to have access to you? Because one of the things that we do is we bend over backwards and we become nurses and moms. Mm-hmm. And that's not our best strength. Okay. Yeah. So if you think about it, I want you to visualize the influencers and I want you to be, I know that you don't have influence. You do have influence and you have it as your second domain. And so it's going to be a very important part. Here's what I'm understanding about influencing. Influencing is someone who's more of like what you're talking about with your vision of your health coach and your health leadership person that you talk about, the physical fitness person, yeah, the champion strength person, that, you know, the victory person that you are. Because an influencer is someone who can stand at the front of the room and command with their presence for people to get up and do something. And so what it does is influencing actually combines purple and blue, okay, together. So we get stuff done through people, through relationships. And that's kind of what influencing is about. So it's an interesting little category because strategic sits at home and thinks about things and they see patterns. They love to learn. They go deep into the thinking process. And the way that they can do doTERRA is they have to be able to be hearing with people about their issues. So they need to go and do that investigative learning into people in order to hear that they have arthritis and fibromyalgia and all these things. And once those things pop up, they immediately can go over and go, oh, these things in this list actually drive over to these things in these other lists about how to use doTERRA. And so then all they do in strategic is they basically bring their knowledge about the person to their knowledge about doTERRA, and they just put it out in front of them and that person can take action. So strategic is kind of, you know, behind the scenes thinking a lot. They don't like to be out with people. Well, blue is about being out with people. So like Brenda, when she sits back in her office, she can't think of anybody to talk to because she doesn't sense anybody in that way. She may think about someone and sense them that way, but if she's not actively thinking about connecting with somebody, her worst thing is to sit at home or to be by herself or to be in a group that already knows everything about her because there's no new contacts or anybody being brought to her because everything's already exhausted. You know, everybody's already brought her or everybody's already in. But then she cracked me up because then she went out with some moms and there was one new mom there. And that one new mom saw Brenda do the thing that she does. And right. That new mom was actually wanting to look into, you know, potentially into doTERRA instead of Young Living. So all Brenda had to do is get out with people. And that's the thing with the blue is they just need to be out with people. Okay. Yeah. For yellows and for purples. So here's the thing. You like to get stuff done. We win in doTERRA when we get stuff done with people. So the point is that sometimes people that are very purple, I find that depending on who they're hanging around, they get a lot of stuff done and no one can keep up with them. Like we look at you guys as like you're superheroes, and you're like, we don't even know how, we're like going, I don't even know if I have enough breath to hang around you, because you just are massive tasks. You can get a ton of stuff done and make it look really easy. And one of my leaders here in Kentucky is that same way. She's got 6 kids and she's adopted one, and they're all under the age of 14. And the adopted one is older, but so she's got 6 kids in the house still under 14. And I just, what she can do, I can't keep up with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so just understand that what happens from a purple, wave of activity is it can push people away because we can't keep up with you. So
right.
just understand that you're like, you're on fire, and that's okay. But they have to understand how they're going to be okay relating to you, still being able to not compare to you, right? To be able to then be able to feel like they're accomplishing something. They're not going victim in comparing. So one of the things that I feel like is really good for purple people is, and we're going to learn more about this as we look at purple as a strength, right? And that's what that one video I was sending you, the executing one. So getting into that and looking into what you can do so that you're still relating to people, but you're not slowing yourself down, and you're being able to attract the people that can get stuff done. You're not necessarily looking for people that are just like you, because what I find in my organization is I have a lot of people that are very blue, and then I have some people who have some yellow, and then I don't think I have very many leaders that I've seen. I haven't seen leaders that are very red, you know what I mean, that are very strategic, because mostly those people aren't in action with me. I relate well to blue people because yellow has a blue and purple combination, right? So it's easy for me to relate to people. But mine is actually ordered in dominant and influencing, and then I have equal parts of blue, purple, and red
in your
my
top 10.
Yeah. So then that's why I can kind of go with somebody who's at a blue pace. But then what I'm noticing is that the purple people are like, well, I just want to get this done. I want to get this done. I'm like, God, we got to figure out how to do it with people. And so we got to go through this stage of making it attractive enough, because once you guys figure this out, the purple people, you're going to be unstoppable, but you have to have team. So for instance, one thing that I can hear right now is for these accounts that you're managing people, right? You have to decide boundaries. Like, are they going to pay 10 or 15% more than wholesale? Because there has to be some gain for the person that's selling those products. They can't just be using your account unless you're trying to just title people up and you're using that as your way of flowing volume. And if you can see that strategically working, then you could just keep on putting this floodgate of volume wherever you needed it to be able to get that person titled up while they're getting their own accounts.
Right.
You see what I mean? But you have to understand the strategy, because you can't keep doing it all the time without teaching your market that you're going to give away all your groceries that you got and you're not going to have any food left. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Like you're
I actually use
behavior.
I use them for power of 3.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I have such a terrible structure that if I don't do that, I never get the power of 3 second level. I've never done third.
I've never gotten my
power
third
3.
level. I've never gotten my third level power 3 either. So it's not easy to get if you don't have people right out of the gate, because basically if you have somebody right out of the gate, they're going to go for their power of 3, and then they have to have 3 people that went for their power of 3 right out of the gate too.
Yeah.
So then it makes it go down. But I haven't gotten my 1500. That doesn't mean it's not attainable. It just means that right now we don't have very much help. That's all it means. Is we don't have any help.
Well, we had a terrible start, having only the choice of enrolling people as distributors. We didn't have the other the green. The
wholesale customer,
wholesale. Right. So that was terrible, because once they've decided to put LRP, we can move them anymore.
Right.
It's not like Well, now it's easier, but I have a whole organization built, and
Yes.
that was a very problem.
So one of the things I was thinking about is like knowing why you're doing certain things allows you to keep it from being done for the wrong reason. Okay. So and understanding that, if you're dealing with, a few accounts, it's one thing. But if you're dealing with, where you start having, 6, 10, 12, 15 accounts where you're trying to have people order at your cost,
Yeah.
you're needing to put a rule in your business. What I did a rule in my business, and I don't tell anybody this until I have to. I just say, you know what,
Okay.
I can do this at my cost this month, but you know what, I really need you to get your own account, and I need to teach you how to take care of yourself, because it's kind of like me breathing for you on the airplane, and they tell you to put your own oxygen on first. So I need you to do this, because this is your health. This is your family's budget. I need you to own that. So at some point, and you don't have to say it in those words, but at some point you have to have this rule that you can do it for a period of time or for a number of transactions that you're going to decide for that one person. I don't
Yeah.
have this as a blanket statement for everybody, because there's some elderly people, or there's some poor people, or there's some broken people, and I still have such a tender heart for them that I want to make it work for them, right? But
Yeah.
I'm actually taking myself out of really being powerful and leading thousands and having millions sold in my organization every time I bend backwards for somebody like this.
Right.
And so you got to understand the cost, okay?
Okay.
And it's your business. You can always do ministry and charity and work this powerfully, but you just have to understand that sometimes we're focusing on letting them tell us how we run our business. And I'd like you to go to any grocery store that you have around you and tell them how you'd like to just take their food away for the cost that they paid for it, and they would look at you like you're crazy.
Right.
They won't let you do that. And so that's where it gets smacked in our face, is we're not really being able to respect the business, therefore it won't grow.
Yeah.
And when you respect it, you'll be a leader, not a manager. So these are things where, we have to understand that so here's how Eddie helps me understand it, is that deliberative is number 34 for me.
Okay.
And when I bend over backwards and I try to let everybody else set the pace, and I slow down to their crazy mixed up life, I'm not leading anymore now. I'm babysitting. Okay. And it turns the table on this, because now what I focus on, I get more of. I get more problems. I get more counseling. I get more therapy sessions. I get more weight. I get more slowing down. I get more, you know what I mean? So all I'm doing when I'm focusing on deliberative, which is not my nature.
Right.
All I'm doing is actually creating more of what I don't want. And I'm feeling that, well, I should just go get a job.
Well, that's to me, because definitely money-wise, doTERRA for me hasn't been a motivation, because I'm not earning what I would love to earn. It's not actually enough for me. So I was actually looking into real estate last week to see if I start selling something else.
Right.
Because my project is on hold. See, I've had a difficult time with my mother. I had to moved, and I had to take care of the whole thing because she has dementia. And so I actually, my income from last month, which was planned to go to my logo and name and branding thing for my project, I had to put it into my mother's deposit for the new house. So I don't have money.
Right. I get it. I totally hear you.
So I have, because I've even talked to my manager, and he loved the idea that I have, because I told him I'm tired of prospecting. I've done everything. I mean, everybody in school I've reached. Everybody thinks I'm the queen, and doTERRA queen, of course, and they always me for oils and for everything. So I really don't have a lot of people to approach that don't know about doTERRA and that don't know that I'm into it. So I told them that I wanted to specialize into the fitness part, and he actually told me that if I showed him my plan, he could provide oils for me in order to enroll more people.
That's cool.
I didn't know doTERRA had that.
Well, here's the thing is, working with what you can offer as incentive or what you can use and that kind of thing. That's what account managers are there for. They've got all kinds of different things they can do that we can't.
Awesome. I didn't know.
But here's what I want you to think about. So imagine if you were able to attract through your network. So remember, your people who know about you doing doTERRA, they're not your best customer. They're your network. So the difference between network and contacting is a good distinction to make sure we're clear on. So the people that you're talking to that know you, that know that you do doTERRA, they may be feeling like, and some of them may be enrolled and some of them may have told you no. But remember, your circle around you of people who know you do doTERRA and know why you're up to this, what you're up to doing that's bigger than product sales.
Yeah.
Those people are your network. Those people bring you contacts all the time because they know people. Each one of them knows 200 people.
Right.
And what we need to do is we need to have you relating to them a little differently so that they can bring you 1 or 2 or 3 contacts each easily. Okay. So now let's come back up to your blue, the top 10. Okay. Because we can basically, I can tell you right now, we've been operating out of some of the bottom 5 in your strengths. Okay. And what's happened with that is exactly the result we've got. Now, just understand, when we're enrolling people consistently at 8 to 12 people a month, you're making fast start bonuses that are going to be probably equal what your unilevel is right now. Okay. So I just want to be able to state the obvious fact is that the fastest cash you can make is to bring in more people now because you've got a better path or a better plan. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's stay on that for a moment before you switch careers. Just give me 3 months. Okay.
Enrolling. Yeah. I actually enrolled a girl. When was this? Wednesday? Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. And I still have an open box pending with her once she receives her oils. And I'm definitely going to ask for prospects.
Right. Well, but because we're gonna figure a better way than you've been doing it. So just what I want to make sure of is, again, trying to restore what didn't work or trying to go back to context what was in the past is not going to serve either one of us very well. Okay. So we're going to start fresh with respect for your business, boundaries for your business, and a clear vision of what you're up to. Okay. So that you'll be able to enroll her because without the brand, without the logo, we can still be what you're going towards. I already get a picture of it, and you can act that way without the logo, without the brand. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to start people well, and we're going to use some different tools that are going to keep them engaged and have them bring other people to you, even if you can't go back to your network right now and find those people in your network to bring you new contacts. Okay. But I do know that as you get this energy back on the right track, your network is going to bring you people. So I want to make sure we are planting that vision, is that people who've said no will bring you new people, and people that have said yes and been on the sidelines will bring you new people, because that's what's going to happen when you're being true to Regina. Okay.
Okay.
Right now, they don't see you being anything because they're confused. And when you're operating in your bottom 5 strengths, you're being creepy and weird in the way that they know you. Like, you're being fine as you are, but then when you do doTERRA, you become a lower version of you. You're not powerful. And they don't understand that. They're like, wait, this doesn't make any sense, right? So they don't know how to relate to you there. So we're going to flip that around. But here's what I want to do. Let's go back up to the top 10 for a minute. Relator and harmony. Have you read what it says on Relator in the Gallup?
No.
And do you have, just out of curiosity, do you have that app on your phone? Because you can put the Gallup strength, or the Clifton Strengths Finder, you can put it on your phone. So you
Oh,
can,
really?
yeah. So I, like right now I have it on my phone, and I can bring up the really quick description. Here's what Relator says. It says, people exceptionally talented in Relator enjoy close relationships with others. They find deep satisfaction in working hard with friends to achieve a goal. But what we heard last night, remember, and there's more information that we can read on Relator. Remember what he talked about last night. Relator for me is number 11. And for you, I can't remember, but it's in the top 10.
4.
Right?
Number 4.
Yeah. Okay, so perfect. So here's what I wanted you to catch on this. What I heard last night was something that I hadn't really realized. And tell me if this is true for you. Very few people get to be able to be in my real close inner circle.
Uh-huh.
Like, how is that for you?
Yeah, I'm pretty, I used to be friends with everybody, but with since the oils and since all the spiritual awakening that we're going through at the same time,
Right.
I've become pretty selective of my friends.
Perfect. And here's what I want to honor. I want to honor that. Okay. So here's same with me. I mean, I can make friends with anybody, but as he was saying last night, and you'll hear it in there a little differently. I think it might even take listening to it a couple times, but you're going to hear it in a way that was like, oh my goodness, wow. So here's the deal. We look like we could be with thousands of people, right? We do, because we're out there and we're happy. You know, we're kind to people, all this stuff. But the true reality of it is that with Relator in our top 5, or mine's 11 and yours is in your top 10, right? That kind of thing. Like, so yours in your top 5, it's more going to be apparent to you that, I mean, you're self-selecting that people have to be at a certain level to be close to you. Like, in essence, they have to be an enlightened person that's up to quantum physics, that gets, you know, what is her name, Carolyn Mace or whatever that was, you know, these kind of things. That otherwise they're not going to be in your inner circle, because it's like, I'm not talking about things that are silly and stupid about the world, that people are believing little limited negativity, right?
Right.
So I just want you to honor that, okay? Because what's happening is we're conflicting that right now. Because what's happening is we're trying to say, go out here and find all these people. So now I just want you to imagine, if you had 1 or 2 people or 3 people that were like this, that were qualified to be in your inner circle, that were up to stuff like you're up to, can you imagine how many massive amounts of thousands of people you guys could actually touch between the 3 of you or 2 of you?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to share an example. Look at me with you and Brenda.
Yeah.
Because my organization with you and Brenda touches thousands of people, like 2,500 people you guys got. Okay.
Well, Brenda.
No. You are a part of that, my friend.
Well, not really. I only have 600 and almost 700 people.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter. She came first. Your friendship came through there. And here's the deal. You've been doing this like you've been planted upside down with your head in the ground. You can't do it the way she does it. We're not going to. But if you start looking at this and understanding people who want to be about energy work, people who want to be about living a vitality life where they get younger every year, from a vanity standpoint, they look gorgeous and sexy, and they continue to be better and better every year they move ahead. Do you understand that this would fit in a country club? Do you understand this would fit in any kind of profession where they're in finance or insurance or anything like that, where they value the value of people and the value of money? Now, do you see where there's only a need to be able to find your running partner? You need to find your building person in those environments. And so in those conversations where people invest in their livelihood, their vitality, their clothing, their health, their food, their clean attitude, their exercise, their move, this is where you find activities.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're gonna find some just gonna be accounts, and that's okay. but you're going to have a boundary about those accounts because these people don't know you from anyone else. They've never met you. They're not coming from a warm contact. You're just meeting them in these events and these places that you can be and behave. I mean, you could go on cruise ships. There was a mom and a daughter that went on cruise ships, and they signed up people like crazy because they were there with them for a week to 10 days.
Yeah. Well,
And
we're
they
actually about to take a cruise.
yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. When we separate ourselves, like you are who you are everywhere except doTERRA. And if we let you be who you are now in doTERRA, and basically you live your life, but you have a way of being that you can start to enlighten people about, you know, because, you know, people say, well, who are you? Oh, you know what? I'm someone who inspires people to live, get younger every day. You know, feel younger and live younger and move younger every day. Well, how do you do that? So, you know what? I can set up a consultation with you. It's kind of a hybrid of some products that I have and some coaching that I do. But you know what? Right now, let's just chill and we'll just talk, and let's schedule that for another, you know, when do you want to meet? Thursday? Great. Set that aside and continue to just be you, right? Then when you go to that meeting, you're going to show up as the person who is knowledgeable about the activities and the lifestyle, the food, the nutrition, the activities, all of that. And the products are going to come along with you, but the products are not going to be the hero, because doTERRA should not precede Regina. Regina should be the one that's talking to them, that's connecting with them, that's influencing them, that's getting stuff done with them. And it's getting moved through supplements and digestive health and physical muscle health and oils and you know, mental and emotional stability, right?
Right.
Okay. So do you see how this thing already changes? Because now, instead of being you all the time, except for when you're doing doTERRA, what if you're just you all the time? And now you start to sort people to come to a respectful meeting with you, that you're the authority of physical fitness, health and nutrition, emotional and physical well-being. And that's what they're coming to that appointment to learn from you. You're not just teaching them about products. You're hearing about what they're up to. Why do you want this? Why do you want to be more healthy? Why do you want to be skinnier? Why do you want to be faster? Why do you want to be stronger?
Yeah.
And then basically they're convincing you that they're qualified for you. And
Right.
then you're saying, okay, great. Here's what we're going to do. And here's the cool part, Regina. We're going to stop teaching before we sell. We're going to sell, and then we're going to teach them how to use their stuff. It's a completely different shift, because if we have to go and nurture them along and worry about whether or not they're going to go buy it from their friends and neighbors, I don't care where they buy doTERRA product. They're never going to get what they get when they attach to you or me, because basically what we give them is way more than the product. Okay.
Exactly.
But you don't value you because you're doing it in the doTERRA way. So we want you to value you and do Regina full on 100%. And what happens is, here's the deal. The part of it is like, okay, great. I hear that you want to, you know, change this health report, or you want to move your body, or you want to be able to look younger next year, and you want to be able to be stronger tomorrow and the next day, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put you in a 90-day program. It's going to start off with this. You're going to get a box of supplements. You're going to do the digestive enzyme, Terrazyme. You're going to add in a probiotic, and then you're going to work with these 5 oils. You're going to work with your immune system on guard. You're going to work with some lemon in your water. You're going to use some balance oil on your body every day so you can manage your stress. You got frankincense here under your tongue every day for inflammation, because we all have problems with that.
Yeah.
And then basically there's one more oil, and it's in that daily healthy habits kit right now that we have. We have it in the US. You may not have it there.
We don't have it. I actually talked to the lady.
Does not matter. It doesn't matter, because here's the thing I want you to get.
It's an awesome kit.
If you're talking to a person who cares about their vanity, their life, their vitality, their money, their legacy, their history, they're up to something. Because again, you're talking to somebody that's a professional working person. You're talking to somebody who invests money with your husband, or that buys insurance or whatever. You're talking to somebody who's going to a country club. You're talking to somebody who's owning a company of multiple employees. Do you see what I mean? Like we're going to put you got to be in another category.
Exactly.
And you can't continue to go down to the people who don't want to do the things you want to do. You have to go and be around the people who have a lot to risk if they don't take care of their health, a lot to value because they're valuable people. Do you see what I mean? Like you got to talk to people who already value their life that they want to enhance it and get the most out of it versus someone who's barely even valuing themselves. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So here's what I want you to understand is that Healthy Habits Kit tells you the answer. And Boyd Truman knew this before anybody else. So if you can't get that kit sold with all of those different elements, because I'm telling you, those 5 oils, and I can't remember the 5th one, because it was like one other oil that's a daily, daily part of it. Because I just mean
it's lemon, balance,
on frankincense, and something else.
The Habits doTERRA kit. Let me check it out.
Now I know that we have it in the 5 milliliter bottles, right? So there's a couple different ways you could do this. I mean, you could break apart an aroma touch kit and a family essentials kit, and you could try to put this thing together, but that would be silly to try to do that.
Oh, it's a 5 milliliter.
Yes.
Yeah, it's frankincense, lemon, lavender, deep blue. I know deep
lavender. Blue. It was lavender, yeah. So lavender was the other one. So here's the thing I want you to see. Because you can't get it, what we're going to do is go back to where Boyd Truman enrolled everybody. And what he did was he started everyone out, because you're going to be on a conversation of energy, sleep quality, less pains, better focus, less brain fog for your hormonal state for people that are in that season of going through menopause, right? So you're going to be speaking to people's vitality.
Right.
And you're gonna be helping them be doing some workouts and eating clean and all these kind of things that you model by your existence. Okay. The point is Boyd Truman used to sign everybody up, and probably still does, and he taught everybody in his team to do this. Like, this is what we do. We get them on the lifelong vitality. They use the Terrazyme, they use the PB Assist, and they use lemon. And that's it. That was their initial order. That's
my target. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Because actually, all my network, they don't have this. They only use oils. Since we started with oils, it's been hard for us to teach people to take vitamins.
That's okay. It's because it's because you're leaning down in your bottom 5 strengths. So what I want you to do is I want you to come back up with your Regina program. Right. And your Regina program is going to be wrinkle-free and healthy fit and sleeping good and having incredible sex, because you know what? We've got stuff to support all of that. Seriously. And you can own it, because people want to have a better life, right? So you can help them with all of this. And the key thing you're going to do is you're going to go wiping through your whole entire organization, and you're going to lift up all these oil users. Some of them are going to come into LRP and get their vitamins. Some of them are going to complain at you and tell you that it's too expensive. And here's what you're going to say to them. Compared to what? Your vitamins are too expensive for you compared to what?
Exactly.
And that's all you're going to say, Regina. You're just done, because here's the deal. They're having an internal conversation with themselves about how they don't value their life. Right. And you can't jump in with a drowning person. Okay. So here's the deal. And what'll happen is that you're going to lead people to it, and you're going to actually continue to stay on your high vibe, and you're going to have people come up to you. There's going to be a few that will. Out of those people, they're going to be on consistent LRPs now. Right.
Right.
So can you imagine now how in the world, or why would I allow you to not have an account? See, now it becomes insane that you don't have an account. There's no reason. And so what I'm getting at is, we're not going to go restore the old ones. We're going to go through and do a sweep through and say, hey, we're doing this thing. And we've already got the whole program. So my suggestion is like a strategy of things, and you can take it down and you can take it the way you want to. But here's some things that I see really quickly for you. Use Jerry Chandler's customer appreciation, customer tracker. Figure out what kind of prize you want to put at each of those levels. Okay.
Okay.
And you tell me what it is that you're giving away as prizes, and we'll get Rod and Jen to get a product boxed down to you somehow. We'll figure it out. We got to figure out how we can do this. Okay.
It's easy.
Okay, so we'll figure that out.
I have an address in San Diego which they can ship.
It's perfect. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have you go through every single account it doesn't matter who enrolled them. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to worry about trying to get permission and worry about people's feelings, because that's not
Oh
us.
no,
That's
because
not who
they're
we
not
are.
doing it. So yeah, I might as
Yes,
well.
yes, exactly. And that's where I've been too. Like, I've been waiting patiently, and I've been honoring people's little yards and all that, but I'm done. I'm done with that. I mean, like, we're moving the planet forward, and we're going to be able to help people. So what you can do is you can go through every single account that has any relationship to you, and you're going to go through, and you're going to basically be talking to that person through their email, through their account, through their phone call, through that, you know, however they will be in communication. If they don't communicate with you, then you're going to put a little notation on that, and you may or may not come back around to them. Okay. Because what you can do is you can sweep through your entire organization, and you can offer them a 30-day customer appreciation event that we're doing. And we have this customer point tracker. And what you do is every day you put your oils on, and every day you take your vitamins, and every day you do these things, and you come to these classes that we're teaching. And when we do classes online so that they have access there, and you do physical classes so they can do classes there. And if they want to watch a video on doTERRA and tell you that that was the class they watched, then they can talk to you personally, and you can count that as a class if you want to. It's about them doing daily behaviors. It's about them being weekly taking care of themselves. Okay. So look at Jerry Chandler's thing as a frame and an outline, and follow it as best you can, because it's easy to do it that way. And then we don't care if everybody gets the 100-point prize. That's okay. Let them get it. Let them all get a tube of Deep Blue, because that's what the first prize was in Jerry's program, was Deep Blue Rub for 100 points. So if they use their oils every day, and if they took their vitamins every day, which is funny because it's on their vitamins. Well, they're like, well, they're not taking their vitamins. Maybe some of these people might decide to take vitamins because they're going to get rewarded for it. We don't know. It doesn't matter. Right. And then bringing a friend to a class. Well, I don't have a class to go to. Well, it's great. Well, let's figure out what we can do for that. You want me to come teach you guys? See, now they're going to be asking you to teach places, like teach online so we can come, or teach at my house so I can come. Right? Yes, but because classes have never worked for me. I understand, but here's the thing you have to hear. We're not going to go there. That's restorative in context. I want you to see why it's going to motivate them now, because they're going to look at it like, I want that free prize. Right. And so here's the deal. If they hit the 100-point prize, they get the free Deep Blue. If they hit the 250-point prize, they get a free spa kit, which is four oils. It's like 4 or 5 milliliter oils. And then if they get the 500 points in the month, then they get $65 in free oils that they want to choose, that they want to use. So we basically would facilitate that through Rod and Jen, and they've got tons of points, and then we would be able to use that there. Okay. So one person out of this whole thing, when you decide to launch this program, one person, because let's say it launches now and it's done, the same date in June, right? Right. One person that gets the most amount of points gets $100 of oils to be able to 100 points basically to use for their oils and to pick out what they want, and to get a free Luma diffuser. But I always just said free diffuser in case the Luma is out of stock or something like that, right? So that you can. We don't have Luma here in Mexico. But right, we're gonna send it. We're gonna send it to San Diego. See? Oh, okay. Well, I have a question about the points, because I saw Brenda do a raffle, and she gave 30 points. Can I share my points to somebody's account through my account manager, or I would with my account, I buy the 100 points of product for them, or how do you give up points? So in being able to do that, you would just use your own points, and you would take their order, and then I would basically go like 69 points is frankincense and that kind of thing. So that you can't gift your points over to another account. But remember too, you're not trying to be the one to give the prizes. We're trying to help you as a leader, help your organization thrive. So Rod and Jen are helping us with the prizes. Right. Okay. And they're gonna be picked in US, and they're gonna be shipped over to San Diego, and you're gonna figure out how to get them across the border. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that helps us there, because here's the deal. And like I said, so what I want you to see that's different now than ever has been. Jerry told me this. She said, Norma, I had people calling up and they were mad because they hadn't had their business overview yet because it counts for so many points. So they wanted to learn about the business because it was going to count for so many points. So they were willing to do that meeting with us. And of course, that meeting is going to take a period of time. Everyone's going to be informed about it, whether or not they want to go forward in the business or not. You're still being able to get that presentation in front of them and talk to them about the possibility of having time and money freedom. And if not them, who do they know? And could they keep that in mind? Because that's what you're looking to partner with, is that you've got a couple positions where you're mentoring people and you're going to be able to work with them to help them to create time and money freedom. And if it's not this person in front of them, that's fine, but they know about it now. And now they know better than they knew before, and it haunts them.
Okay.
So just understand the process that Jerry went through with this customer appreciation point tracker system. So here's the deal. No one is needing to manage the customer. They get the point tracker. They understand they need to track it. They need to be honest about it. And if they take advantage of it, then that's on their head. If they're going to try to rip us off, that's going to be on their head. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like if they're not going to be truthful and you don't feel good about it, then don't offer it to them.
Right.
You see what I mean? Like, offer this to people that are of good character, that will do the activity because they're going to reward themselves with prizes, but they're going to reward themselves with feeling better. And they're going to be better off at being who they are, which is going to have them not be as hurt on the inside, which means they're going to be able to help more people on the outside, because when they're feeling good on the inside, they can always find other people that need help. And they'll be happy to bring you people because they feel so good.
Right.
You see, it's going to shift everything. Okay.
Okay.
But just understand, if you feel like there's somebody that you're not certain about, then you can have a critical conversation with them. Like, look, we're not here to just hand out free products. I'm not here to just open my account and let you order at my cost. That's basically stealing from me, my friend. And I don't want to be doing that. I won't be in business very long if you keep doing that. And you can call them out. Seriously. And you call them out, you put a boundary, and you move beyond them, because you cannot make your business fit all the people that want to rip you off, or all the crabs that want to hold you back, if you've ever read my book. So it's like, in that situation, we cannot go back in the crab bucket and try to serve those crabs.
Yeah.
Okay? We really can't. And we have to be honest with what we've allowed people to do in the past and be done with it. Like, we're not going to worry about licking those wounds. We learned a lot. We gained confidence. We know what works for us, and we know how much value we have for the future, right? We're good.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do now is see, like, where we're locking away the past. We have a program that allows you the excuse to talk to everybody you have right now in a way that's powerful for you right now, not in a way that goes back to context or restorative. You don't have to go back to anything in the past.
Yeah.
And if they start telling you stuff that you don't want to hear, you're like, you know what? I'm really busy. I've got to get through all these accounts. I'm actually inviting people to do this, and I just want to make sure, do you have any more questions about this program? Here's your sheet. It starts today. We clean this up on the 20th of June, and I need your sheet, pictured, sent to me by, June 17th, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't need to be their counselor.
Right.
And you don't need to be their mother.
No. What I want to do is inspire them to do what I'm doing and do it to themselves.
Okay, so here's the thing. Some of them will, and some of them won't.
Right.
And
remember, at least to try it, for 30 days.
Right. But here's the thing I want you to see is, remember, you're inviting everyone, and you're working with those that move towards you. Okay. Everyone can be invited to this, and unfortunately not everyone is going to want to, and some of them are going to try to pull you back down to where you were with them, okay? Because your energy is moving away, and they're like, oh, no, come here. You got to know this. I want to, but this, and oh my gosh, that. And you'll see them go blow money on entertainment or alcohol or whatever other things they do. They just don't put their dollars where they value, which is them. And that's okay. We can't fix that right now, okay? You can come back around to them a number of times and keep inviting them. But here's what I want you to do is, if you look at plan number 1, would be to use whatever you feel comfortable from Jerry's program. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I do have a leaders group where I've talked about this a lot, and I don't think you've been added into it because I've been waiting for people to ask to be put in it. But I can.
No, I am in. I am in.
Are you in that Norma's leaders group? That one where we're just doing a video every Monday?
Yes, I just haven't watched the videos.
It's okay. It's okay.
But yes, I'm in the group. Hold on. Let me, Norma's leaders group. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, the last 3 weeks, there's been a lot of talk about it. You'll see specifically Jerry Chandler's video is there and the tracker sheets are there. One is blank. One is blank, and one has some prizes filled out with what I told you, the deep blue, the spa kit, the $65 worth of oil, or 65 points basically, and then the other one, which is 100 points or $100 worth of oil. So just understand, when I'm talking about dollars, I'm talking about US dollars. So we're talking about 100 points or 65 points of oils. Okay.
Okay.
But those are there for you. And so Jerry explained the program really well, and we clarified questions that we had, and we came back and talked about it. So there's the last 3 weeks, I've talked about it probably, in the month of early May, we talked about it in detail. So it's there for you to pick through and be able to feel confident. Once you understand what it is, here's the deal I want you to catch. You could start a customer on it today. They don't need anything else from anyone else, and they don't need anything else from you.
Okay.
Once they're decided to do this, they just need to know there's classes to plug into. So think about that. You want to make sure that they have a class to plug into, and you want to make sure that you can do a webinar one for them if they're in a local area that, or a remote area that you're not in, right? So just be aware of that some of those points there, you need to make sure that, hey, when you're ready for a class, I can do a class for you and your family in your family room. I can do a class for you and your church group. See what I mean? So if they want to do something and you can't get them to a group thing, make them get people together so that you have a class to teach, so that now they're actually involving 3 or 4 or 5 other people with them to be taught more about these things so that they can use the products they have. Do you see how that works to get more quote unquote classes on the book? It doesn't matter about a class. A class is just a conversation about oils. It doesn't even matter. Right. But they're going to be motivated because they get so many points from that. And if they bring guests, like 4 guests, guess what? They're going to be having that times their friend point thing. Boom, boom, boom. You just got this many points, right?
Right.
So, and remember, we are not trying to not give them a prize. Now, if they get 100 points and they move beyond to go to 250 and to 500, they don't get all 3 prizes. They get to choose one prize out of all of those. Like, they could choose the deep blue rub if they really wanted to. And that even if they were at the 500 points, they could say, oh, I want that deep blue rub. It's like, okay, great. Then you're going to get the deep blue rub. But you had access to getting, $65 worth of free oil if you wanted to too, or in place of that. So they get to choose whichever prize they hit. Like if they hit a 275 points, they can choose between the 1 or 2 prizes there under the 100 and 250. Okay.
Okay.
And because that way they're not getting all 3 prizes. So we're not, and again, we're getting help with the prizes. So the worst case that could happen is you had to give out a lot of prizes. Well, guess what happened to your volume?
It's going to go up?
Yeah, because they're using their vitamins. Oh, they don't have vitamins. They're using their oils every day. They're having to replace their oils. They're bringing friends to classes. Now friends are getting enrolled. You see what I mean? So it really doesn't even matter, because the point is that it's not going to be expensive unless you get people doing stuff. And then even then you're going to get things where you're going to get a lot of momentum, and we're going to help you with prizes. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so it's going to change all the behavior that you've had in the past, and the customer themselves is having to be responsible for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Your responsibility is pretty high for you, right? Or something like that. I think it was like
it's my second, no?
Yeah. So
on,
like
I have my app.
Cool.
And I see Brenda also. Yeah, I want to see you as well. How do I do that?
Oh, as far as my strengths?
Yeah, because I have Brenda here, and I have myself. Responsibility is my second strength.
Yeah, let me see. I got to see how I send mine to you. Hang on. I forgot how to do that.
Let me see, because there's like a little.
Oh, here it is. Share with others. Okay, so if you'll share with me, what's your email address?
Regina Lebrija. Oh, sharing with others.
Spell your Lebrija.
Lebrija.
And then what's the rest of the email?
@gmail.com. This is awesome, the app. I love it.
I'm trying to see Lebrija, and I tried that at Gmail. Is that the one you use for your strengths, or is there another email?
That's the one. Let me write it in the. I'm sending a message with it.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure I've got it spelled right because it didn't come up immediately. Okay, hang on a second here. Let me copy that. Because mine is nstrange09@gmail.com.
M Strange.
N is in Norma. N Strange.
Yeah.
At nstrange09.
09 at
gmail.com. Okay, so I've tried. Let's see, sharing with others.
No, I don't see. I don't know how.
Okay, hang on a second here. Maybe it's in this area. So let me paste it. I think I pasted mine in the wrong area here. So let me go over here to this other one. All right, let's
I have
see
to ask Brenda how she. Oh, share your strengths.
Yeah, I just saw that. I thought I saw that there. So mine's been sent to you now. So I had.
Oh,
to
really?
hit that, yeah, I had to hit that little person with the arrow. So hit that and then send it to me at nstrange09@gmail.com.
Oh no. Yeah, I have it. A little one appeared.
Yeah, so send yours
Pending
to me.
shares. One pending. Oh, Norma, accept. Got it.
Yeah, so send me yours. So email to me and like hit that little person with the arrow and then put in my email there.
Okay. And hold on. And
Strange09.
Strange09 at gmail.
Yeah.
.com. What's your username in the Clifton Strengths?
I think it might be nstrange.
Yeah, I got it. I actually have to go now.
Okay, so yeah, so I can see yours there. Okay, cool. All right, so perfect. So I want to just wrap up with one other piece here real quick.
Okay.
So your number one strategy is to use the customer point tracker because that's going to help you to go touch every account. It's going to give you an excuse, okay?
Yeah.
And from there, you will get vitamin sales because of the fact is that you're leading people to a foundation of nutrition and activity and feeling younger every day. The second part of this is every single person that you're starting out fresh from the supplements with Terrazyme and lemon at a minimum, and hopefully adding in the probiotics, the PB Assist. You guys have that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So having that and maybe even adding in balance for the stress, because the point is that if you deal with some of the things that are in that healthy habits kit, it deals with stress and immune system along with nutrition. And so what you want to do is kind of break that nutrition, that healthy kit into 125 each. you know,
Okay.
so that you can start people out and get them on LRP at 125, so they're getting free things too. So then what that'll do is that'll start everybody better, right? So our second strategy is going to be that you're going to start being this brand that we've been talking about, without the logo, without the thing. You're just going to start acting that way, and then we'll step into that brand.
Okay.
Okay. And we can talk more about that. But what I wanted you to feel is, first, I wanted you to understand that you getting stuff done and relating to people in a small group, you got to just understand you're going to deal with a lot of people that aren't going to relate to you, right? You're going to deal with a lot of people that are, you're going to have a higher group of people to work with, and you're only going to work with a few. We only want you to identify one or two that you're going to build with. The rest of them are just going to be customers.
Okay.
So let me know when we can talk again, so you don't go down the rabbit hole in your head. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sorry, my internet was messed up. I was uploading a video and I can't stop it, so it's in the middle of it. So my video is all messed up today. But just reach out and let me know when we can talk again. Watch those couple videos and let's talk in the next day or two. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. You're awesome.
Thank you very much, Norma.
You're welcome. I believe in you.
I know. Thanks.
All right,
I really
cool.
appreciate all your mentoring.
Yeah, we're gonna get some money coming into you, and you'll be fine.
Okay, awesome.
All right. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye.